You know, I've been thinking about conservatism lately, and it's really fascinating how it's evolved over time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just about preserving traditions anymore, right?
Exactly. I mean, originally, it was a reaction to the radical changes from the Enlightenment and the French Revolution.
Right, like Edmund Burke comes to mind.
Yes, Burke, often considered the father of conservatism, he advocated for gradual change and respecting traditions.
Yeah.
He really emphasized maintaining social stability.
And over time, conservatism had to adapt to new challenges like capitalism and industrialization, didn't it?
Exactly. It's like conservatism had to reinvent itself to stay relevant, especially during the 19th and 20th centuries.
Then figures like Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher brought in a whole new wave, right?
Yeah, they ushered in neoconservatism and free market
Right.
policies. They focused on tax cuts, deregulation, and really pushed for economic liberalism.
So, what are the core principles of conservatism today?
Well, tradition and stability are still at the heart,
Yeah.
but also limited government, free markets, personal responsibility, and a strong national defense.
Personal responsibility, that's a big one.
Definitely. The belief that individuals should be responsible for their own well-being, not relying heavily on government support.
Unlimited government ties into that philosophy, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Right.
The idea is that the state should play a minimal role in both the economy and personal lives.
But conservatism isn't monolithic. There are different types, correct?
Oh, absolutely. There's classical conservatism, fiscal conservatism, social conservatism, neoconservatism, and libertarian conservatism.
Yeah. Wait, can you break those down a bit?
Sure. Classical conservatism is rooted in tradition, monarchy, and social hierarchy. Think Edmund Burke.
And fiscal conservatism focuses on low taxes and reduced government spending, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about free market capitalism and minimal government intervention in the economy.
Then we have social conservatism, which emphasizes traditional family values.
Right? It focuses on preserving cultural heritage and often involves religious influences.
Neoconservatism is more about strong national defense and global interventionism.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And libertarian conservatism supports individual freedoms and less government intervention across the board.
It's interesting how broad the spectrum is within conservatism.
It really is.
Yeah.
And there are key figures who've shaped each of these strands.
Like Adam Smith with his promotion of free markets.
Exactly. And Winston Churchill, who balanced nationalism with democratic values. He was pivotal during his time.
And of course, Reagan and Thatcher in the modern era.
They really left a mark,
Right.
advocating for neoliberal economic policies and deregulation.
But conservatism faces criticism too, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Some argue that its resistance to change can slow progress on social issues like civil rights and gender equality.
And that economic policies might favor the wealthy over ordinary citizens.
That's a common critique. Policies like tax cuts and deregulation can sometimes benefit corporations more than individuals.
Also, the enforcement of certain moral views through government action can be controversial.
Exactly.
Right.
Some feel that social conservatism imposes specific religious or moral beliefs on the broader populace.
So, in modern politics, how does conservatism manifest across different countries?
Well, in the US, the Republican Party generally supports conservative policies on the economy and social values.
Yeah. In the UK, the Conservative Party emphasizes economic liberalism, but allows for more social flexibility.
Exactly. And in many European countries, conservative parties combine capitalism with moderate social policies.
It's fascinating how the core principles adapt to different cultural contexts.
It really is.
Yeah.
Understanding its evolution helps explain many of today's political debates.
You know, sometimes I feel that conservatism holds on too tightly to the past.
Well, that's an interesting point.
Right.
But some would argue that preserving foundational values provides stability in tumultuous times.
True, but don't you think that can hinder necessary progress?
It can, but it's about finding a balance. Integrating new ideas while respecting enduring principles.
I guess that's the ongoing challenge for any society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic process that requires careful consideration.
Well, this conversation has given me a lot to think about.
Same here. Conservatism continues to shape our world in significant ways.
And whether we agree with all its aspects or not, understanding it is key.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about informed discussions and mutual respect.
Exactly. Well, until next time.
Looking forward to it. Take care.
Yeah.